And we're live to review Moloch with no screen grabs, even though there's a couple of good women, couple of good-looking women in the episode. You'll have to watch the episode yourself.
You can still find one for the thumbnail, though.
Yeah, I will. I'll take a photo of that during the actual hangout. So, Jeff, what do you actually think of this episode?
Well, you know, the one chick was all right, and then the other one was all right too. She had some nice hair. I liked that a bunch of people just got shot. Like, you know, instead of all the people always getting threatened to be shot and then it doesn't happen. Like, they were just like, no, you're out, you're out, you're out, boom. You know, we had some people slapped around. Servalan had, like, the good, like, you know, where the chick's like, help me, Madam President. And she's like, don't care in the slightest. That was good. That guy was good. I like he either was on Doctor Who or like Alolo or like one of those British shows I've seen before because his face looked really familiar.
I think it's called David Harris.
David, eh?
Yeah, and actually spelt with a Y instead of an I in David. Okay. And he's Welsh.
Well, I definitely feel like I've seen him in something before, but I... Anyway, he was good. It's one of those times where you're like, you know, this guy should have better material to work with because he's a good actor. I didn't quite get the whole like thing with the chicks and like, oh, we left the natives. Or like, I guess were they all like that? They just kept like the chicks they thought were good looking from the natives, or they were.
I don't know. This is what you get with these Ben Steed scripts. You get these weird storylines where they treat women really badly.
That's a porn star name. Everybody knows that. And yeah, and we had One-Eyed Puppet, who Maven definitely knew that was going to look exactly like that, even though I didn't. I thought it was going to be some giant weird computer thing, something, based on what Ben had said previously. So that's what I get for being prejudiced about what it was going to be. But yeah, already though, I did figure out the part where I'm like, I don't think this is really a computer. So I got that part because I'm like,
yeah.
Either that or it's like, you know, the bad emotive Cybermen that, you know.
I think it was before they said it was a computer. I was like, yeah, sure. It's a computer. You start.
Yeah.
The first introduction was the vision, you know, and the little circle and it said what to do with the first chica. And like, yeah, have you man, take her, whatever. Yeah, I was like, what kind of freak use some mystic orb to be doling out judgments?
Yeah, I've got to make like, you know, a drinking game or something similar for like the things for Blake 7, and like you can just tally up yet another time where somebody had a perfect opportunity to kill Servalan and didn't do it and should have with every fiber of the being of the universe.
A sort of bingo game.
Yeah. Like again, this show, like, I'm gonna keep watching to the end. I said I would, but if she doesn't get like I'm killed with a scorpion fatality at the end, I'm just not gonna. The show is gonna lose points. Like, I mean, even if the last episode is just like zombie Blake rising up out of the ground and like strangle her to death, like that would make up for the rest of anything. Like that would be good enough. But
the ending's better than that.
I would declare it the greatest show ever if that's how it ended.
Right. The best looking woman in this never actually talked. There she is.
Oh, was that the one serving the
yes,
the dinner party or whatever?
Oh yes. She'll be the thumbnail.
All right. She's definitely representative of this episode. So I did enjoy the dude with the round head like telling off Servalan. That was pretty. You know, it would have been better if he killed her, of course, but at least he was like not like all the other stupid people that just like pretend like she has any worth whatsoever.
Yeah, I mean, like he didn't have much technical knowledge, but he was able to take over the situation.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, he was better than the caveman from that other episode that you like all so much.
What, Jarvik?
The one that's just like, woman, make me a sandwich and I'll destroy your fleet.
Yeah, this should have been written as sort of like respects women but demands respects from women, rather than demands respect and doesn't respect women.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah, I mean, they could have toned it down a bit, but still had the fact that no, actually, somebody in the in a certain Facebook group said that they absolutely had that same romance style. We know what Jarvik did to Servalan. They said they would have loved that to happen to them.
Yeah, well, there's also women who say they have fantasies where they want to be raped. So
Until it actually happens, and they'll get.
Pretty much anything you can think of, somebody's got a fetish for it, no matter what it is. Or a fantasy about it, or So yeah, there's women and men who have things about like somebody, like they're turned on by somebody being disrespectful to them. So I'm not one of those people, but there are plenty of those people out there. So it's not I am not in any way incredulous about that specifically, that somebody would be attracted to that, because I have encountered enough to not be surprised by it.
Right, so basically, I'm going to look for the grab of where you see Moloch. The little fella when he comes in at the end. So I'm just getting that.
Oh, the cute little fella.
The little fella.
He was just lying there on the ground. They just ran off and left him. See, what would really be good is in the next episode, they realize, like, they were wrong. He's not dead, and he was like supercharged by the thing, and he grows into this giant puppet that eats the ship. And
I don't think I had the budget for that, Jeff. Wishful thinking.
Yeah.
They
have the budget to paint people blue and green, though. They've shown they can do.
You know what I should have said during that review? I should have said I could have been one of the ultras.
Yeah. You didn't give what your rating was for that last one, though.
About 7, I suppose.
7, okay. What about this one?
Well, I'll give it an 8. Extra point for the women.
Okay. So what did you like about this episode?
I like the ideas. I like the ideas of the fact that they could scan something, put it on the card, take the information from the card, and change energy into matter, like change just some simple matter. So basically, it's just a complicated way of doing like the replicator in Star Trek. But I don't know if they had the replicator in the 60s. Did they have the replicator in the 60s?
I don't know.
But you see, a load of these ideas that we think that were done on television were actually done in novels beforehand. So like I think the teleport in Star Trek and the warp drive was already done in novels beforehand. So now I'm just transferring the images. And
Star Trek The Next Generation was the first show ever to have an engineer that constantly came up with new ways to reroute something through something else in order to save the universe. That never happened before.
Right. So, folks, we're flying by the seat of our pants here. So I'm going to get the book. I'm going to read out the book, the Maximum Power book, and I've got to be quick-witted enough not to read out any spoilers.
Yeah, you'll have to suddenly stick your hand in front of it. And... No, you can't read that part. You did it that one time, like when you had the picture on the screen, but then you realized there was a spoiler and you like zoomed it up really fast. That was pretty good tactical intelligence there by you.
Oh, thank you. Right, Moloch, written by Ben Steed, directed by Veer Laurie Moore, apparently. Guest stars David Harris as Doran, the guy you liked. John Hartley as Gross. So he was the round-headed guy who was the sort of leader of the robot. Sheridan Lecter. Debbie Blythe as Poola. She was the good-looking blonde. I will to be able to get something on screen.
So that was disappointing. Like when she called him gross, he should have been like, "You're gross."
Okay.
Grossaroo.
Grossaroo.
Yeah, that was Punky Brewster's word.
All right.
Grossaroo.
Opening shot. The model of Servalan's oddly shaped ship going from left to right, very slowly. The shot is repeated shortly afterwards. And we don't know why.
Yeah, repeating shots is what it's all about. They stretch your episode.
Well, it's better than doing what they did in Sarcophagus, where they had those weird...
Yeah, and then like the scenes where if they really needed to give more time, the scenes where they were like, wait, show that visual of what happened to her ship again. They could be like, one more time. Wait, slow it down. Give me a close-up of Sector 3.
Right, well, there we go. What else have we got here? You just described the story. Servalan. Women, food, and inflicting pain, in no particular order.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
A good night out, I suppose.
I said one that was could be to sum up the story was when Villa said, "I'm bored." Dana said, "You're boring."
Ah, right. Yeah, it looks like that one didn't transfer. Let's have a look. Did it all go through? Let's try again.
I give this episode a whopping 5.
Wow, that's more than last time.
Yeah, like it's gone up 1 point each episode. Went from 3 to 4 to 5. So, dare I hope the next one could be a 6?
Oh, no, maybe a 10 or a 9.
Wow, if it's a 10, then I will slice off the top of my head.
No, because you won't be able to do the review.
How do you know? Maybe I've been doing every review with no head this whole time. Can't tell, I'm not on camera. Maybe I'm really a tiny one-eyed puppet.
Maybe. Maybe, we never know. We never know. We never know. We think we do know, but we never know. Right. Right then. Right, what have we got here? Celebratory song. It's great to be free. It's great to be free. It's great to be free from the law. It's great to be free. And we all agree we're not going back anymore. You tell them, it says. Planet of the Rapes, it says, in a nutshell. Story. Servalan travels to the planet Sardos, at the edge of the galaxy, hoping to find the remains of the Federation fleet. Instead, she discovers a group of Federation officers who have been left to their own devices. One of the officers, Gross, demonstrates a device he has discovered that can replicate anything. He plans to use it to take over the Federation with replicated stuff.
Replicating one-eyed puppets.
Oh, yes.
A whole battalion of them will take over the universe.
And then the other good point that, you can't replicate pilots because they come out dead. Because you need a life support system, but...
If only they put Terrans in it.
But the idea, I think they were going to reprogram a computer with Tarrant's knowledge, his so-called knowledge.
That computer would always jump into a room unprotected. And wear Robin Hood outfit.
Yeah, in a slightly flouncy way as well.
Just to see this computer sitting there with this curly-haired wig on top of it.
Right, so here we go. So, 3 good-looking chicks in this. There's the first one. Right, there's the second one. What did you think of her out of these two, Jeff?
Yeah,
what did you get?
The one you're calling the second one, she looks better than the other one.
Oh, so you like the brunette?
I mean, the first one, but the second one.
Right, that was just by chance that she had her mouth open.
And she's got a little bit of that Donna Mills look to her.
There's Moloch. This was my favourite.
And was she credited as woman who brings the drinks?
I don't know. Right, there we go. This is the device, replicating machine. Oh, I don't know why it's a device. Oh yeah, there's Colonel.
I congratulate you on getting these pictures up. Good job.
Yes, Joy, thank you. And then we got Moloch. Now I can tell the audience a little story about this thing.
Dude, go back one picture though.
Astrid.
Yeah. Okay. So that dude, like, there's some like British group with their singer or whatever that looks like that guy.
There's quite a lot in that. Rolling Stones? Rolling Stones?
No, not the Rolling Stones. It's nobody that big, but they're like, I'm thinking sort of like punk rock.
Sex Pistols?
Maybe. Could be.
Sid Vicious? Maybe a little bit like Sid Vicious?
It could be. It's a redhead with that kind of crazy red hair and pale skin.
Right.
And they used to interview him on shows, you know, where they'd be like retro show talking about the good old days, 70s and 80s or whatever, and they'd have that guy on there.
Johnny Rotten?
Maybe. I don't know. He's crazy. I know that. MTV would have him on, and it'd be like an interview where he's bugging his eyes out and saying weird crap to the camera and stuff.
Ozzy Osbourne?
No, I know what Ozzy looks like.
I don't know any other names. I'm out.
You don't know any other names. That's the extent of your name.
In terms of like British pop groups, that era.
Somebody out there has got to know who I'm talking about.
Well, someone out there speak. Nope. Right. So, I'll tell the story about this bit. So, Avon says, yes, that is what I reasoned you look like. And apparently what happened on the studio floor is they were cracking up so much, they had to record that later on without that puppet there.
Cool. Does the DVD have outtakes?
I'm not quite sure. Because I don't think... It might have. Let's have a look at the back of the DVD. It's got commentary tracks on Death Watch. It's got a commentary track on the next one because it's very good. It's what we've got. Blake's bloopers. I suppose it's got Blake's bloops.
Yeah, I think it is Johnny Rotten. I'm looking at pictures of him. I think that's who I was thinking of.
Right then, so we've done that. So I'll read through the book. Let me get on to the next one. So I'll try my best. Right. Information. The episode opens with Villa serving a round of green. Hedonism ahoy. Villa does a lovely roly-poly as the Liberator approaches the planet. He's just happy to be alive. Nice artist's impression of what's on the planet below. The Liberator's sketch droids do a marvellous job. That's true, Doc. They just used like some terrible painting at one point. You may notice that this episode isn't particularly kind to women at all. Gross couldn't be better named, while Doran seems completely obsessed with sex. Moloch can do just about anything, apart from look convincing.
Yeah, so apparently that's just the thing with this writer, like you were saying.
Yeah, I mean, there's another one that's even worse. Despite there being a gun and a rock on the ground whilst the trooper is fighting Villa, Servalan elects to clobber the trooper on the head rather than just simply shoot him. Colonel Astrid action figure...
He doesn't even hit him in the head, he hits him on the back.
Yeah.
She just sets the rock on his back for a second. Ugh.
Well,
it's like in that one Doctor Who story, I think it was the Sea Devils, where the Master tries to hypnotize the Navy guy, and he doesn't fall for it, and it's like, yeah, we're not stupid enough to fall for your hypnotizing, and then the Master's like, okay, and then he like taps him on the back lightly, and he falls unconscious.
Yeah, I mean, the Master. This is how the Master hit. This is how Roger Delgado hypnotized her. He went, "You will obey me." That's it.
And the guy was like, "No, I won't. But if you want to tap me on the back, I'll go down in 1 second."
Right, so the Colonel Astrid action figure was marketed in 1980, but flopped spectacularly on the high street after failing to capture the imagination of the buying public. That's a bit of a Bernie Sanders, a bit of BS. Avon's genuinely...
They should have just taken the Johnny Rotten doll and called it...
Yeah, Avon's genuinely concerned for Villa's safety. It's really quite touching. It was all going so well until Moloch the monkey turned up. Closing shot. Close-up of Avon, who says, "Get us out of here." We couldn't agree more. Delightful dialogue.
He's not a monkey. He's a furry cyclops, like the dude
Yes.
from Kroll.
Absolutely, one eye. Avon. Careful of my wrist, Villa. It's had enough. Avon. Perhaps she wants to compare notes with some other genocidal maniacs, or take a refresher course in basic brutality. Dana. Are they friendly? Aurak. They are socially exclusive, but not unduly hostile. Callie. What sort of answer is that? Aurak. A succinct one. Amateur hour. Moloch himself. Everything about Moloch himself. The first shot of him after more than 47 minutes is supposed to be the episode's big reveal, and yet we're presented with that. You can barely understand a word he says. The man who directed this episode and would surely had to approve the design of the character would go on to be the producer of the final series. That's not a real spoiler. Additional scraps of knowledge. Kalkos, Sardos, important fact, 6 writers, and this was all they could say about this episode. That's 6 writers of this book. Now, they even disliked one episode so much, they refused to actually do a review on it.
Yeah, I know you mentioned that before.
Yeah.
But then they compensated by making up episodes that didn't happen.
Yes, and they actually might be better than some of the ones that you actually seen.
I could probably do that too. I could come up with my own fake episode.
Right, so I think you've given...
Of course, I would be too tempted to just have it be like everyone shooting Servalan for 45 minutes.
Right, so, I think...
lying there, charred on the ground, and more people walk up and like punch her and then shoot her several times.
Right, so you've given it 5 out of 10. I've given it 8 out of 10. We've given the women marks out of 10. We've mentioned the little thing with one eye that was rubbish. Anything else to add?
For once, you stumped me on.
Well, it's goodbye from me. And
Goodbye.
right.